Hi guys, so you came to this video to find out how to get what you want by letting go. So let's just get right into it. And I know this topic, it seems counterintuitive, right? Because a lot of the times when we want to achieve something, we set out a goal and we work very, very hard and put in a lot of effort, right? And sometimes we may even get that, right? Whatever we're trying to accomplish. But a lot of the times after putting in an effort, nothing happens, right? So kind of why is that? How does it work? The way it does, because a lot of the times it seems you want something really badly, and you work hard for it, you try, you put in a lot of effort, and you get to a certain point and nothing is happening. Whatever the outcome, the desired outcome, you wish to have happen to you, just doesn't come. So um, you can do that by letting go. What does that mean? Exactly. So sometimes when you want something bad enough, you put out a lot of energy, right? Let's say you made the intention for whatever it is that you want, it's already coming to you, right? But you also are trying super, super hard, to get it. Putting a lot of energy behind it as well. The thing you want is already coming to you. It really, that's how it works. But it's coming to you, and you are using so much energy and so much force and maybe stress and maybe fear on the back, that you're kind of bouncing off of it and you're not allowing it to come to you you know so you can have that, whatever you want, by letting go. Well, how do we do that, right? So my tips are, you have to start relaxing a little, right? You put out the intention already, the thing is coming to you. Key point, you have to work for it, right? You can't just wish and it's going to come to you. You have to work for it, right? So you put in a lot of effort, you work, but it's not forced effort, right? And then when you see nothing is happening, the key is to relax and let it go, which is easier said than done. So what I would recommend, like a helpful tip, when you have tried, a lot, relax in your daily life, right? Be grateful for what you have now. Um, Try to be as present as possible every day. Just go for long walks or meditate. Um, be around, positive people. Take your mind off of it, actually, because the more you're going to think about it, the more you're trying to force it, it's not going to happen. It happens when you let go, which, like I said, is easier said than done. In these videos, um, I like to look back at my own life and use examples to see if it works the way I'm saying it works, right? The way I'm learning it works, because I like to practice, not just say these things and kind of have you figured out, but like also retrospect and look back on my life and see if that's the way it works. So I'll give an example from my life. At one point, I had when I was younger a little, I had a condo, right? Condominium, an apartment. I bought it, but there was a lot of stuff happening with the association, right? I'm not going to get into it, but there was a lot of problems. So I wanted to get out of it, and I knew, you know, I thought about it, went over all the scenarios, I meditated on it, and I knew it was the right thing to get rid of it, right? So me and my agent listed it for sale. Um, we listed it for sale and nothing was happening. And then I went on vacation, right? Which is kind of what I'm preaching, right? You put in the work, make it happen, and then you relax. But I was on vacation and I get a phone call from my agent that we got an offer, right? Great. Everything's working out, wow, perfect. Faster than I thought. And, I don't think anything about it. But the next day, I get a phone call saying that, behind the scenes, everything that went into it and kind of, the whole deal almost came to fruition. It fell apart. It literally just fell apart because, some things were happening with the association that shouldn't be, and there's no way, me or anybody for that matter at that time could sell their place at that time. So I was devastated. Obviously, I thought this is a done deal. I can get out of the situation. But here, happens kind of a problem. So, a few days went by. We're trying to figure out different scenarios. And it came to be that the place can only be listed for cash, right? Because no other bank will accept loans for this particular unit in this apartment building, like I said, there's a lot of things that went into it, but nobody can get a loan, and even the person that wanted to purchase the place couldn't get a loan, fell off. So the only way would be to get a cash loan. Easier said than done, right? So I'm panicking a little because I bought the place with a loan and put in a down payment and whatnot, but I couldn't see how somebody else because at that moment I couldn't purchase a place with cash and stuff, and I'm like, who's gonna do that? I didn't see it for myself, therefore, which is also a limiting belief, right? I didn't see it for myself, so I didn't know how somebody else could potentially do it. So I like I said, I was disappointed. We still listed it, nothing was happening. A few weeks went by, nothing, right? So then I got to a point, which brings the topic of this video, right? How do you let something go when you want it so bad, right? Because I was putting in so much energy behind it and force. Well, you can do it one way, well, two ways, either consciously or unconsciously, right? And the way I'm gonna tell you, I did it unconsciously because I just got to a point where I was fed up. Like I said, I don't see a way out. I don't see how somebody could purchase it. So I got very just, in a way, kind of fed up and a little angry, and just said, you know what? It is what it is. The worst case scenario kind of happened. And now, I was living at the time somewhere else. So, I was renting that unit out because I moved out. Long story short, not pertinent to this topic. And I'm like, you know what? The worst case scenario, I'll just continue to rent it out, as I figure it out. I'll rent it out, and that's the end of it. I'm tired of this. I wasted so much energy. Keyword is energy, right? Pushing that energy. So the next day, I called like a local, because I used to list the place for rent online and then like a local newspaper, right? So I called the local newspaper and I said, I need to list this, and the lady goes, well, it's too late already for this week or this month or whatever, however it worked at that time. She's like, but if you want, I can, take down the information and, put it into the system, next week, so you don't forget, which is another thing I try not to do when people use that kind of like a fear tactic. Like, hey, better do it now, the sale ends. Hey, better do it now because, you might forget again, And I've been through enough scenarios where I recognize that. And I try not to do things from fear, That doesn't mean I'm perfect, but I try not to do things from fear. So I said, you know what? No, I'll call back next week. But at that point, like I said, I released everything, all the energy, and I was fine with, renting it out and, finding a tenant and whatnot. So I go about my business, but I had a feeling, right, not to, kind of list it and just wait for, tomorrow or next week, call back and figure it out, right? And put it for rent once again. And then, no pressure anymore. No pressure, no anger, no frustration, no nothing. Tomorrow, I go about my business, going to work, whatever else. And in the evening, I get a phone call from my realtor, right? Saying we got a cash offer. And the cash offer came in unexpectedly, like last second. No issues, no problems, no nothing, And this was after a long time of trying to figure things out and find a buyer and sell it and stuff. And like I said, sell it for cash when I didn't see how somebody, because I didn't see it possible for me at that time, right? So I didn't know how would it be possible for others. Literally, I thought about this for a while afterwards, how I put in so much effort trying nothing. And as soon as I released, I said, it is what it is. Let me find a different way to deal with the situation. I released it. I'm not even joking, you guys. The next day in the evening, I got the phone call, right, that the offer would take place. So in this scenario, I did it unconsciously, right? I kind of got fed up with the whole situation where, a little resentment built up, and I said, enough is enough, and I released it. Therefore, whatever was trying to get to me, that sale could come in. No longer was I pushing, against it and bouncing it back and forth. It could just flow into me. And that's exactly what happened, right? And like I said, this is unconsciously because, like I said, the way it happened. But to consciously do it, you can also do it, right? When you want something really bad, like I gave you the tips earlier, you put it out, it's coming to you, you work hard for it, right? That's what a lot of people forget to tell you. You still have to put in the work, right? You can't just sit around, and you have to put in the effort, and then something is gonna happen, which a lot of people consider luck, but it's not luck, right? Because you put yourself in luck's way. There's a big difference, right? But not a lot of people will accredit you with with kind of that. They'll just say lucky. But that's another topic, probably another video. There you go. So my helpful tips, you're trying, you put in the effort, relax, go think about something else, work on another project, spend time with your family, spend time in nature, right? Spend time with loved ones, anything to get your mind off, right? To be present again and grateful. Start being grateful for everything else you have in your life, right? Because then you relax. That energy is no more wanting and needing, right? Pushing and kind of, against it, forcing it. You can allow it to come to you, whatever it is, right? So, easier said than done, right? Because once you want something, you're going to focus on it, think about it. You're going to, obsess over it, right? So, how do you tell somebody, just relax? But, like I said, play with your cat, your dog, be present in the projects and stuff, go on a trip even, even though that's what I did, it still didn't happen, right? But I knew why it wasn't happening, because I was, I just wanted it too strong, like I wanted it really badly, and it's not gonna happen when you want it that badly, okay? And I can reference other stuff in my life earlier, right? Where I wanted something really bad, it never came to me unless I let it go. And the stuff, the situations where I didn't have that much, invested in it, and I don't care if it happens, it always came to me. Whether that was, like certain friendships or certain applying for certain jobs. I remember being younger when I really wanted something, a particular job, and really thought I needed it. I never got it. But the jobs where I'm like, like it's a great job, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. And I released it. I always got the offer. So I really not believe I know how that this stuff works this way. So I hope this was helpful, and catch you in the next one.